Kristin Cavallari, the 39-year-old reality television star and podcast host, recently shared a vivid and somewhat unsettling story from her nightlife adventures in Hollywood. During an episode of her podcast Let's Be Honest, she opened up about attending what was promoted as a Slutty Valentine's Day party. The invitation came through a group of her close girlfriends, and right from the start, the dress code raised some eyebrows for her. It specified that guests should wear white if they were single, pink if heartbroken, black if horny, and nude if slutty. Cavallari reflected on her own outfit choice at the time, black leather pants paired with a nude top, and laughed about how it unintentionally aligned with both the horny and slutty categories in her mind. She admitted that the guidelines alone made her question what kind of evening she was walking into. When she and her friends finally arrived at the location, the level of security immediately struck her as excessive and unusual compared to other events she had attended over the years. The setup was intense, with staff meticulously placing stickers over the cameras on everyone's phones to prevent any photography or video recording. This precaution felt overly secretive and immediately put her on edge. She recalled thinking to herself that the whole situation seemed incredibly shady, wondering aloud what exactly they were about to step into. As they entered the house, the decor transported them back to the 1970s era, with vintage vibes permeating the space. But the real surprise came when they turned a corner and discovered that the lower level of the home had been transformed into what essentially functioned as a full nightclub. There was even a dedicated room featuring a cage and a stripper pole, adding to the provocative and eccentric atmosphere. Cavallari described the overall energy of the place as profoundly sketchy. It gave off the unmistakable feeling of a drug den, or perhaps a venue where questionable activities were commonplace. While she emphasized that she didn't personally witness any illegal substances being used, nor did she see explicit evidence of wrongdoing like prostitution or overt foul play, the vibe was impossible to ignore. The air itself felt dirty and uncomfortable, creating an environment that made her and her companions deeply uneasy. The group huddled together almost immediately upon sensing the odd and off-putting mood. They exchanged glances and quietly agreed that they needed to leave as soon as possible. In her recounting, Cavallari stressed how creeped out everyone felt, describing the collective decision to exit with urgency. Remarkably, they only stayed for about 4 minutes before making their escape. The brief visit was more than enough to confirm that the party wasn't for them, and they wasted no time heading out to find a more welcoming alternative. Fortunately, their night didn't end on that uncomfortable note. After departing the first event, they made their way to a different gathering, a rap party that turned out to be much more relaxed and enjoyable. The atmosphere there was a stark contrast, allowing everyone to unwind and have a good time. Among the notable attendees were rappers Chris Brown and Dolla, which added a layer of celebrity energy without the previous unease. By the end of the evening, Cavallari had connected with someone new who caught her attention. She described him as a really cute guy and they began talking right away. What stood out in her story was the age difference. He is 9 years younger than her. This wasn't entirely new territory for Cavallari, as her previous relationship with Mark Estes had involved a 13-year age gap. She shared that the two have been in communication since that night, and she mentioned the possibility of him visiting her in Nashville, where she currently resides. To be clear, she specified that he wouldn't be staying at her place but rather taking her out properly on a date, perhaps to dinner, keeping things light and casual for now. This anecdote ties into broader reflections Cavallari has made about her personal life and public sharing habits. She has been open in the past about various aspects of her relationships, including intimate details, but she recently decided to pull back on certain topics after feedback from her children. Her sons mentioned that friends of theirs had come across podcast episodes where she discussed sexual matters related to her time dating Estes. This realization prompted a serious pause for her. She explained that while she doesn't mind what her kids think of her personally, she wants to be more mindful to avoid anything that could negatively impact them socially among their peers. As a result, she has found ways to express herself more indirectly when discussing certain subjects, balancing her candid style with greater consideration for her family's well-being. Cavallari first rose to prominence through her roles on MTV's Laguna Beach, The Real Orange County from 2004 to 2006 and later on The Hills from 2009 to 2010. Those early experiences in the spotlight shaped her into a figure comfortable discussing personal stories on her platform. Her marriage to former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler lasted 7 years before ending in 2020, and they share 3 children: Camden, now 13, Jackson, 11, and Sailor, 9. Navigating life as a single mother in the public eye while exploring new romantic possibilities has become part of her ongoing narrative,